Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, the channel name is Alba Stitcher, and this is a channel where I talk about my love of cross stitch. Welcome if you're new here, well done if you're returning for sticking by me. This is Flosstube number 58 and today is the 29th of November. Wow, how this year has passed. It's been about 3 weeks since my last update and I've got quite a little pile of things to share with you. In the last 3 weeks I've been at a retreat which was absolutely wonderful, but it's not good for my bank balance. I've worked on quite a few projects. There's some new starts there with something a little bit different for me. I have a finish, I have some happy mail, I've got some giveaways and giveaway winners and a little bit of plans, but plans for me are just kind of guidelines. I like to stitch what I want when I want. Anyway, let's crack on. I hope you're all well. Hope you've got a drink with you. I have a cup of coffee here and let's start with my finish. So, as you know, if you've been watching me for a little while, I had decided in January that I wanted to do one of these Quakers every month. And here is my finish on the November Quaker. Not so much frogging on this one. There was frogging, not so much. I was really worried about the colours because the two browns are very close together. But actually stitching it up, and it doesn't show so clearly in the camera, but actually in real life you can see the colour differences quite clearly. I love the little squirrel. There's been quite a few people have done this one. Yeah, it's been really good to see. This is I think it's just a cream even weave Zweigart one I had in my stash. I've enjoyed stitching them on the even weave as opposed to the linen. I've only done a few on linen, but that's the November. One left to go. I cannot believe it. If you know me, you know I have a pile of whips, I have a pile of starts, I have a pile of stash, but I have certainly kept up with this one and I've only got one left, which I'll show you now, which is December. A few people have already stitched it and I've seen it finished. It looks great, but I cannot wait to have this done. These are deceptively stitch heavy, some more than others. This one was actually not. There was quite a few errors in the chart, so if you've still got to stitch it, be careful. But I certainly loved stitching on this one. And that's November done. Next video I will go through all of them because I should have all 12 finished then. But yeah, there you go, November Quaker. Can't believe it. So what does that mean? It means it's time to think about December Quaker, and here it is here. So this is the December Quaker. I have chosen again a very kind of cream even weave to stitch it on, and there is only two colours on this, but on the advice of some people at the retreat I have then went and got two skeins of both the colours. I've stitched all of these. I'm sorry for making this, I'm making a story here that there's no story, it's just me being all fingers and thumbs. This one only had two colours, so on the advice of Tammy, who stitched hers I think also on a 32 or a 28, I've got two skeins of the required threads. So here's hoping shortly there will be a full set of 12 monthly Quakers, and these are from the Heart Needleart by Wendy. They're really, really good. I've really enjoyed stitching on them. But I would say if you're thinking about doing them as a monthly, be prepared that it takes up quite a lot of your stitching time. I mean, maybe you have lots of stitching time. My stitching time is very much restricted to the evening and if I have any time at the weekend. But I'm glad I've done it. I am glad I've done it. And somebody's already asked, there's been a few people asking, what are you going to do next year? What's your plan? I think actually the kind of jury's out. I'm not sure I'm going to do anything next year. I have lots of things I want to stitch on, and I think making a commitment to any monthly stitch, unless it's really small and will only take a few days, I'm not ready for that. Maybe in the future I will, but at the moment I'm not ready to take that on again. They're lovely. I would certainly, if you've got them in your stash and you're not sure, I would certainly say, yep, go ahead, pull the trigger, get stitching. But there's a lot of stitching in them. Okay, so what else have I been stitching on in the last 3 weeks? Well, I picked my little bear back up, and this is Cottage Garden Samplings. It was A Year in the Woods, and this is the bear one. I had seen this finished on Instagram. I wasn't instantly attracted to the bear, but I had seen it finished on Instagram and I really liked it. So I managed to make quite a bit of progress. This was actually quite a good stitch when I was at the retreat. Let me show you. And this is where I'm at with him now. And this piece of fabric is a 32 count even weave, and I got it from River Hut Designs on Etsy. They have quite a nice range of fabrics if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit softer mottling. But this is the second piece I've worked with, and I found it really good. So that's my progress. I think he's shaping up quite nicely. I wish I had stuck with him a bit more at the retreat. I kind of flitted around a bit. I couldn't settle on one project, and if I had just stuck with him, I would have got a whole lot more completed, obviously. But yeah, that's my progress on my bear. Loving it. Picked up this little needle minder, bear needle minder for him as well. But yeah, really good, kind of happy stitch. Really enjoyed stitching on him. So that was my Bear in the Woods. And I also picked up just recently, just actually in the last couple of days, from Wolfie Stitches, and she's just recently started a Flosstube. So you could go over there and maybe have a little kind of love to a new Flosstuber. But she was selling project bags that her mum had made, and I couldn't resist. There was one that was all kind of bears and foxes in the woods. So yeah, I picked that up, and this was what I think she called them imperfect. Well, they're pretty perfect to me. They're very good, and they're ideal for my bear. So yeah, I picked up that. I think she still has other ones if people are looking for project bags. I only picked it up, really, I don't need project bags. I've got lots of lovely ones, but I didn't have a bear one for my bear project, so I'm really happy with that. Okay, let me see. I also, in the last couple of weeks, I've had a new start. There's a little bit of a story with this new start. So I'll just tell you, I had purchased this chart. I love it. Mini Moon, Mini Christmas Moon, is it? Christmas Mini Moon by Plum Street Samplers. I have a little bit of a Plum Street Sampler kick. You'll see that in my haul. I've purchased quite a few. I will show you the project that led me down that rabbit hole. But anyway, I had this project, really liked it. And a couple of people had spoken to me. Actually, let me show you how far I've gotten, and then I'll tell you the story, because this is a little bit different for me. So that's how far I've gotten on it. I've been building a house, I've got the roof done, and I'm just working on the hair at the top. This fabric is one of the Fabric of the Month by Crafty Kate. I'll need to have a look. I don't know if there's a name to this, but actually it's probably my favourite fabric that she's done. It's got a little bit of a hint of heartland, vellum, that kind of mottling, which is really useful because it can be transferred to lots of different projects. But the key with this project is these are the threads I'm using. And what I want to tell you is these are not DMC. Oh, you can't see it. On the back of the project, sorry, the chart. On the back of the chart, we have overdyes and DMC. But at one of the stitchy days or the retreats I was at, I had seen quite a lot of finishes or people working with CXC floss. I had never ventured down the road of CXC, but I decided I was going to try. I just wanted to try to see what it was like. So I kitted up a couple of charts, and I've got other ones here with CXC floss. The numbers are the same as DMC. On first glance, people would think that's just a ring of DMC. If you look a bit closer, you will see there are differences, slight variations. But variations that are not out with the possibilities of working with, I would say. Now, this is all I've stitched on the CXC. I've not stitched anything else. I've seen full Mirabilias with CXC. They were fabulous. I've seen full coverages with CXC. They're absolutely fabulous. So this is just me dipping my toe in the water to see if I like it, and to see if I notice any difference. The first thing I would say is that they are more fibrous. You'll find them a little bit, I don't know if fluffy is the right word, but you're definitely, your stitches, they lie okay, but everything's just a little bit puffier. So the coverage is good. But at the moment, as it stands, I would say I'm on the fence. I'm literally on the fence. I hope once I finish this whole project, now not that it's a big project, I think it's something like 75 by 85, I'll have an idea of whether I like the CXC floss. But at the end of the day, price-wise, these are a fraction of DMC. At the moment here in the UK, DMC can cost you, well, easily £1.30, £1.40, £1.50, but the more, I think the most economical you can get it for is like 85, 90 pence. The CXC runs in at 25 pence a skein. So it's like four CXC to 1 DMC. So the price point, so if anybody's thinking about their budget or their stitchy budget for 2024, I would say it's worth trying the CXC to see if they suit you and your stitching. I think that's the only thing I would say. Try it and see if it's for you. Yeah, so update maybe next time when I've stitched on the project a little bit more and have some kind of more stuff finished. I don't know what I dropped there. That's my next project. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. So the next project that I picked up has a little bit of a story to it. So Plum Street Samplers, I did say there was a little bit of a theme. This project, as if anyone's followed me, they know that I moved back from the Netherlands. It will be 3 years next month since I moved back home. And when I moved back home, I brought 10 boxes and my sewing machine, had them shipped over, and the 10 boxes really all contained stitchy stuff. Now, in amongst those boxes were the whips that I was working on at the time. I'm guessing round about 10 to 12 projects. I haven't touched those projects basically in those 3 years, but I wanted to resume stitching on a blackbird design and I went looking for it. And I did find it, but I came across this project, which I had started. Now, this is Plum Street Samplers Pomegranate Santa, and this is so far my progress on it. Now, when I picked it up, I had only done, I think, maybe a couple of the pomegranates in this flower. So since I picked it up, I worked on the Santa, did more of the kind of leaves and the branches, started going down towards his little sleigh. But this is my progress on Pomegranate Santa, and I absolutely love it. I love the blue fabric. This is Blue Spruce by Zweigart, 32 count. I cannot claim that this was my 100% choice of fabric. I saw someone else stitch it on a similar blue fabric. I don't think it was exactly this fabric, but it was something similar, of a similar kind of tone. So that's what made me start it, and I really enjoy stitching on this. I forgot how much I enjoyed Plum Street, and her charts are really clear. I love the kind of colour. These are the called for over dies I'm stitching with. So yeah, absolutely love it. And I think on the blue it's really nice. And I have purchased another couple of Plum Street Christmas charts, and my plan will be also to stitch them on blue. Whether it'll be this blue spruce or something similar, I'm not sure. But yeah, Pomegranate Santa. Now, I would love to have him finished for Christmas. It's possible, but I'm easily distracted. So I get all caught up in other shiny stuff and then I don't finish it. But this will definitely stay out so that I can get it finished. So Pomegranate Santa by Plum Street Samplers, stitched on 32 count 2/2 Zweigart blue spruce with the called for over dyed threads. And that's it. So yeah, I had a little bit of an adventure going into my box and seeing what was there, and some of the whips that I've brought back, I don't think I will ever stitch on them again. But you should never say never, because you never actually know what's going to take your fancy. But I have pulled out the Blackbirds one, and that will get some attention at some point in the next kind of few weeks. Okay, this is a lot for me. Normally I have like 4 projects maybe, so 3 whips and 1 finish. Yeah, this is low. It was good going to the retreat because that gave you some kind of focus time for stitching. But this is a lot for me. Okay, so you may remember in November, earlier on in the month, the lovely Stitchy Sally decided that she was going to start her very first Long Dog. And I had seen someone stitch this one on Instagram, really liked it, got it all kitted up. And when I had decided in my head I was going to start it the 1st of November or something, but Stitchy Sally was doing a stitch along, I think, with Ellie Welly Stitcher, and Frosty X Stitch also joined in that we would start all this, and that was on the 3rd of November. So I kitted it up. I had a lovely piece of fabric from Sparkly's, oatmeal, I think it is, and I decided to stitch it in DMC, and I started. I struggled. And I've had lots of Sparkly's fabric. I don't know if it was me, fabric, whatever it was, the stars aligned. I did not get on well. So, and of course this would have to be a centre start, so I need to unpick it all. But I wasn't happy, and I thought, you know, this project is not a small project. If I'm not happy, I'll not stick to it, and I'll not stitch it, and I'll just go into the whip pile with everything else. So I restarted it. And here is my restart. So this time, actually that's really messy because you can't see. Let me just move this needle. Yeah, I'll need to fix that a little bit. It's not good, Amanda. I've got a feeling I had planned to stitch on this. That's why it's still in the hoop or the frame, and I never got round to it. So there is my restart. This time it's a 32 count even weave. It's Zweigart. It's again the kind of natural cream fabric, and it's still with the DMC, but I enjoyed it so much better. I could stitch, the stitches were just lying easier. What I found with my Sparkly's fabric, it was quite loose and I was just struggling. Everything was a struggle and I didn't want to stitch on it. And to be honest, this is not the biggest Long Dog. It's 187 by 251, but it's still a substantial piece. And if you don't enjoy the fabric or the thread, you're never going to stitch on it. So I decided a restart now was better while I had only done a small amount, rather than to wait until I had kind of a huge page finish or whatever. So here is my restart. I'm much happier with this. This brings me much happiness. It's a joy to stitch on. I don't know, at the moment I'm in a real even weave kick for some reason. I normally like linen and the kind of wonky donkey nature of the stitches, but I just wasn't feeling it, so I decided to break loose and I restarted. And that was also something I very rarely do. I very rarely restart a project, but here we go. And that's my restart on my Long Dog Sampler. I know this is not really like me, but it is. You know, it's a hobby, so it's got to be something that I enjoy. Okay, so the final project that I stitched a tiny amount on was my Quaker diamonds, and this was the project that I took to the retreat that I thought I'm just going to stitch on it. I took other projects, but in my head I thought I would just stitch on this, but I struggled, and I don't know why, and I really struggled, so my progress is quite limited, but you will, well, I think you'll see a little bit of progress on this Quaker diamonds. So here you go, and that's where I'm at with the Quaker diamonds. I'm hoping probably after Christmas I'll try and get some more stitches in it. I love how it's stitching up. Just to remind everyone, it's with these lovely beautiful Valdani threads. This is a 28 count, which is the called for these, to use for these threads. It's a Zweigart, I think it's just grey. Again, this is an even weave, and I just really love how it's turning out. The interesting thing is sometimes it's not sure, or it's not clear really what kind of variegation you'll get, but if I can just show you on this here, that's the kind of variegation you get with those threads. It can be quite noticeable, and then other times it's very subtle. But yeah, that's my progress on Quaker diamonds. Absolutely love it. Thoroughly enjoy every stitch of it. But for whatever reason, during the retreat, I wasn't feeling it. And for me, yeah, that's not right, because you're there actually, well, you're there for whatever you want to be at the retreat for, whether it's to socialise or to stitch, but for me it was to stitch. And so I just swapped it out, and I think that was when I swapped between Pomegranate Santa and the Bear, and they were great to stitch with. So yeah, it's quite a lot of projects for me in 3 weeks. Okay, let me think. What do I want to move on to now? Let's talk about haul. A little bit about haul. I want to preface this bit by saying the ladies who joined me or were at the same table as I was at the retreat are all to blame for most of my haul. Either they had purchased something similar, they were stitching on something similar, they had some sort of similar accoutrement with them, and that was why I purchased it. I take no responsibility for any of these purchases. It all lies with those ladies that I was sitting with. And it was a lovely table. Jennifer, Sandy, Tammy and Fiona, all great. We had a real good laugh, and I can't wait for the next one in March. So let's talk about haul. The first thing I want to show you is this here, and this is I think it's classed as an embroidery or a notions case, and Sandy had one of these and I just fell in love with it, and I thought I need to get one of them. Now there's obviously a few options out there, whether it's the hand and lock ones that you like, but this one is a beautiful buttery soft leather. You can get it in black or in this whiskey colour. They have various kind of options really, because some of them are more crochet based, some of them are more stitchy based. So the zip's open, you've got the little pouch there, and then if you pull this down, you've got the little bit that you can hold. Maybe you can put scissors in, or if you've got crochet hooks or whatever. And this is a little pouch that opens up. These are pricey. These are pricey, but I loved it so much that I had to get one. So these are mud. I bought it from a shop on Etsy, I think they're Danish. They are quite hard to get, actually. When I just googled it, like I just googled it off the bat as we were sitting at the table, it wasn't easy to find them. They had them, but they were not in stock. So you could see that this was for sale or that was available, but it was out of stock, so you would have to wait. But this shop on Etsy, actually off the top of my head, I can't remember, is it Dina? Dina's Crafts, maybe? I think that was what it was, Dina's Crafts. She had them, and then I managed to get one, but they are pricey. So I know this time of year, lots of people busy with Christmas things, which is perfectly fine. But if you want to maybe add it to your Christmas list, I would say they're certainly, they're worth it. They're lovely. So yeah, that was one of my purchases. Then I've got a whole kind of bundle of charts that I've bought. So let me go through these. I'll not take them out the sleeve, I'll just show you them. First one is another Plum Street. I did say to you I had purchased a couple more Christmas Plum Streets. This is Merry 1. And my plan will be to do that on a blue based fabric. Then I have For You, again, it's a Plum Street sampler. My plan is to do that on a blue based fabric, and that one's 99 by 51. And this one is 100 by 70. I just thought they were really nice. I then picked up another Plum Street, which is Goody Grimwood. It's 164 by 150, so she's a bit bigger. And then I picked up this one here, which is Tortoise Tower. And I've kitted that up with the CXC, so it'll be interesting to see how that is. It's not too big. It's 54 by 90. I also picked up Cottage Garden Samplings, the Christmas Parade. And I've also kitted that up with CXC, so we'll see how that goes. I must admit, if I don't like the CXC in the other one, I'll take them out and I'll try DMC. I picked up this Crochet A Go-Go one, which is lovely with the little penguin, and you get the little button with it as well. I got that from 123 Stitch. That wasn't available over here. I then picked up this one here, which is Christmas Yule, is it? Well, I'll just check. The Yule Goddess. Got it totally wrong. I had seen that on social media and a few of us had chatted about it. So when I saw it, Arts and Design was at the retreat, I had to pick it up. I really like it. I know Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, has been stitching on it. She's actually made quite a lot of progress. But I just really like the skirt and the colours. But that's as far as I've got, and I've not got it kitted up or anything. And then I picked up a couple of charts on the D-stash table at the retreat, which was this one here. It's a little Dirty Annie one. Actually, what it says is it's all about the journey. I kind of believe that. It is all about the journey. Or all about the stitching, not about the end product. And then I also picked up this one, a little heartstring samplery one. My Wish for You, which I really liked. And then I picked this up off D-stash online. I had seen someone stitch on this one before. So this one is a Leisure Arts kit, a chart, sorry. I'm trying to look for the year. Yeah, let me just see. I probably need to open it up. I'll not do that. But it's called Christmas Patches, and it's actually got other charts in there as well. So it's got the big Santa, which is what I'm drawn to. But I quite like to see when he was down here on the back. I think it's out of print, but as I say, I picked it up on the... somebody was de-stashing it on a Facebook group, and I really liked it. I think that's all my stash. I thought I had more, but that's all that I've got here. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Happy Mail. Yesterday I received the loveliest of Happy Mails. I got a little card here from the lovely Pauline from Sobe Bags with a lovely bag. Now the fabric, let me tell you, because it's called Celtic Dreams. It's a Lewis and Irene fabric called Celtic Dreams, and Pauline had sent me the bag because she thought it would be lovely for the Scottish SAL. So my mighty wee nation SAL, which is due to start in next year, 25th of January. I know there's quite a few people have contacted me saying that they would like to join in. They had a Scottish chart, or they had a sampler, or some sort of Scottish themed design, which is really good. But this bag is absolutely epic. Look, the Highland cow. It's got the thistle. It's got a beautiful Celtic knot here. There's the stag head here. Absolutely lovely. And as always, Pauline does such a great job stitching these bags. And I will happily be using this for my thistle house, which is the project I've chosen to stitch. If you haven't seen my previous videos, then my plan is that on the 25th of January, which is Burns Night here, I'm going to start a chart that's Scottish themed of some sort. The one I chose was Thistle House, and Pauline has very kindly gifted me this bag, which will my project will live in. So yeah, I know Pauline's having a sale this week. She does her sales on Instagram. I think she said on Friday that she would have some more bags available. So you might want to, if you like a little Highland cow, or you like sort of Highland or Scottish themed, you might like to pick one of these up. Thank you very much, Pauline. And it came on a day that was good because we'd had a bit of a rough time, so it was a little smile. Okay, giveaway and giveaway winners. Let's talk about that. First of all, let's talk about giveaway winners. If you remember, the last couple of videos, I've struggled to get people who won the giveaway to get in touch. So I redrew 2 of them. I'm still waiting for the person who won the fabric to contact me. So if I don't hear by the next video, that'll also be redrawn. First thing let's talk about is this one here, which was Something Wicked. Now, I think this was video 54. I had asked people to use the word wicked. I've included the DMC threads. The new winner is Jill Lunsford. So Jill, if you can get in contact with me, you can drop me an email or a message on Instagram. I'll get this in the post to you. Then I think it was video 55. I had the Mad Hatter tea party. This was gifted to me by Arts and Designs. So I redrew that. And this time it was Julie Evans. So Julie, if you can get in contact with me, either by email or messenger on Instagram, I'll get this in the post to you. These are the 2. And as I say, I've still got the fabric, so if I don't hear, I'll draw that again. But I do have a giveaway for this time. And what I've decided is, as we're running up to the end of the year, I wanted to give away 4 charts. And these are by Summerhouse Stitch Works. And it is the winter. Let me try and do these in some sort of order. The spring, summer, and autumn. So the winner will get all 4 charts. And the word that I would like people to use is seasons. And I thought it would be quite good because I'll manage to get these hopefully out into the post so that you can start them early 2024 if you wanted to do them all kind of throughout the year. I've already stitched the spring one, which I loved. And I think I've got maybe winter kitted up, but I've not kitted the other ones up, but I do have them. So yeah, that's the 4 charts. If you're interested, please use the word seasons and you will win all 4. Please don't use the word giveaway or prize or anything like that. Please make sure you're over 18 so that you can give me your address. I would like the people kind of like and subscribe the video, but I'll not check. But if you're interested in winning these 4 charts, then use the word seasons in your comment. I think that's it. Is that it? I think that could be it. That's quite... It's actually not as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot longer today. Oh, I have got more. I've totally forgotten. I have got more. Behind me, you may remember on my last video, I had my advent box from Cottage Garden Threads. So that's still there. But I also have the advent calendar, and she sent a little card from Tom and Lily Creations. And I've not opened it up fully because it's not the first yet. But when you look in the box, I have all these little envelopes with thread in them, which I am so looking forward to opening. And my plan for this one will be to open maybe 5 days at a time, so days 1 to 5 for both of them, and I'll post it on Instagram and then I'll show at my next video. So that's the advent box from Tom and Lily Creations. So I have 2 advent boxes this year. Hadn't decided to do any, but then I had forgotten that I had paid for the Cottage Garden Thread one, and then the Tom and Lily one popped up, and I thought, yeah, I really like those threads, so I'll get them. So look out in December. I'm not doing Flossmas. Respect to everybody who does Flossmas, but I will post on Instagram the threads that I get in case that's something that you might be interested in the future. Now that's us. Don't really have much of a life update. Things are challenging with my dad. I didn't mention it in the last video. Sometimes I don't want to mention it because it's maybe been quite a rough week, or we've had a kind of rough time of it. It's tough. It's tough. Apart from that, I love my retreat. I then had a week off, which was great. We went, John and I went away to a hotel down in Peebles, which is in the borders, the Scottish borders. It was a lovely kind of golf and spa hotel. The weather was terrible, absolutely terrible. We had a lovely golf view, which just showed us rain, that's all we could see. But it was a lovely hotel, food was fabulous. It was so nice to get away for a few days. But when I came back, there was a whole load of stories. My dad had fallen, cut his head, and yeah, it is what it is. But sometimes I don't mention it because maybe maybe I need a little bit of a rest and I don't want to mention it. But thanks for everybody who has kind of very kind thoughts and wishes and is always asking how things are. It's really, really appreciated. But sometimes I like to be away in my little shell, and I don't really want to talk about it. It makes it kind of more and more real. Anyway, jabbed enough, I think. Jibber jabber. I'll see you in a few weeks before Christmas. I hope everyone is well. It's very cold here. This morning was -6. I'm glad to say I think it's about 2 now, so hey, tropical. And yeah, maybe preparing for a bit of snow. Doesn't bother me. I work from home, which is a blessing in this weather. And if you're organised for Christmas, if you celebrate, good luck. Hope it's all going well for you. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.